Hello and welcome to this video. As you can see, I'm inside the E46 and today I'm going to be looking at the Crankcase Ventilation Valve, or the CCV valve. I actually changed this about 3 years ago before I started the YouTube channel, so I didn't actually film it. That time I did it with taking the inlet manifold off, which is a lengthy job, but it's actually less fiddly. But I've seen a few people put up posts and videos about doing it without taking the inlet manifold off. So today I'm going to give that a go, and I'm going to take you along with me to show you how I do it. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is remove this. Yours will be slightly different, you'll just have those two 10mm to undo if you've got a standard airbox. I'm going to take this one out to give me some more room as well, and just try and take out as much as I can. Try and get the airbox out of the way, get the air mass meter out of the way, and yeah, just go from there then. But the first thing I'm going to do is take this one off. This is a new alternator, and if you want to see a video on how to change that, check out our channel. Next thing I'm going to do is take the DorZ valve out. To do that, we need to remove this, and then we've got two, what are they, T30s again? Looks like it might be. I'll have to use the ratchet on that. I apologise, I thought they're T40s. What I'm just going to do is just check and make sure, yeah, that's working lovely. God, stinking of fuel though. This thing is really over fueling, but that could be down to the CCV giving issues, but that's made it a lot easier for me to get to this part of the pipe there as well, which is coming off. There's a 10mm over here which I'm undoing. It's only for a bracket. Once you undo that, you can move this around a bit more to get a lot better room to get at the hose clip for this one. Yeah, I can check this one over, make sure there's no splits. It appears to be in lovely good working order. Fantastic. Right, but taking all this off, I've kind of exposed the next bit I'm going to get to. As you can see, we've got an evap valve here, evaporative valve, which I'm going to take off to get to one of the pipes. We've also got this electrical box which is going to be unbolted and moved out of the way. As you can see, it had one connector, that was what was connecting to the DorZ valve. Then we're going to remove this bracket here, which this is the idle air control valve. We're going to take that off and check that. And then we're going to take off the throttle body, which should hopefully give us access to the CCV valve, which is behind all of this then. And I'm going to undo, there's a 13mm here to undo dipstick tube. So right, there we go, and then we slowly ease this one up and out of the sump. Actually, let me just... There's a cable tie or two down here. Somebody's been here before me. Once you get this one up, you can see there's a pipe there. Some people said cut it, but no. I'm going to just do that and pull it off. The other thing as well is there should be an O-ring around there. As you can see, my one has been left behind, so I'm going to pop it out. I'm going to replace that with a new O-ring afterwards. Oh, pick up a torch because it looks like there is no O-ring. That might be part of my troubles. Well, doesn't look like there is any O-rings on there. Well, that's never a good sign. There's supposed to be an O-ring on there. I think it's me who took it out last as well, so I haven't really got an excuse for that, except for laziness. What a fool. Right, now on to the next part. Next thing is going to be to move this box back. Again, there's a clip here for the idle air control valve. All the rest of these wires look like they're pretty much done, pretty much off, which is good. The next thing I'm going to do though is I'm going to pop that 10mm off, and there should be another 10mm somewhere around here on another clip. So I think there is, but I'm going to undo the first one first and go from there. This can now be moved mostly out of the way. There is another connector underneath here. It looks like it goes to the oil pressure sensor. There's that one, because we're not pulling on this one. Another one goes to the front here. So that one, give that a bit more room. And there's another one that goes to the oil feeder there. So there's another 10mm there on part of the throttle body has also got another 10mm. You can see there's a bracket there. There's this one here which I believe I'll be able to pull off. A little bit of fettling. There we go. And there's another 10mm there. It's holding this bracket on, and then this should pull out the way. And that's perfect, and you can actually see this is where we're trying to aim to get to. I'll get a better camera angle in a minute. But the next thing we're going to do is undo these two T40s, pull this one out the way, pull this one out the way, and we will be able to get our hands in there properly then. And this just pulls out of the inlet, if I remember rightly. There we are. One thing I wanted to say is, once you've got, this is your idle air control valve which I've just removed. Once you've got it out, if you go like that, you should be able to hear that flapping free like that, because you may find it's coked up. I mean, my one, I cleaned it out last year, but it's a couple of years ago, but it's still dry and a bit coked up. So I'm going to give it a clean again. I just give it a squirt out with some maintenance spray, like WD-40, something like that, but you should be able to hear it like that, and we know that's good. So it's the opposite of the diesel valve where it has to spring back. This one should be loose. So if yours like that, don't panic, that's normal. Right, and now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 10mm to get off on this one. And one thing I want to say is, when you're messing around with this, be very careful not to push this butterfly too much, because it can actually damage the gears inside of here, and it could end up leading to you needing a new throttle body. There we go. So now I should be able to get to everything I need to on the CCV valve. Now if you look under here, this is your crankcase valve there. Sorry, you probably can't see very well because of the light. So let me just try and get a bit more light on the situation. You can see there's a couple of pipes going into there which we're going to have to try and get off. Shouldn't be too bad. And yeah, we're going to try and get those ones off, see if we can replace that out in place. But I'm going to start off at the top here, because, and one thing, I'm not going to change too many of the pipes because I've replaced these not that long ago. So I'm going to get that one off there, and then go back under there. There we are, and that one, that's what we need to disconnect, is that. If you're replacing this pipe as well, and it's best to push these. Again, this one didn't seem to be too bad. I had to, when I replaced the rocker cover gasket last, so I'm going to be very gentle with it. Try and there we are. Just make that loose. But like I say, I've got a spare one of these. This is the pipe I haven't got the spare of, which is why I've been very careful with it. But this one is another one that goes all the way down there to the CCV valve. As you can see, that's the pipe from the top. It goes down and into the CCV that side. You've then got one right at the bottom here, which is the one that went to the dipstick tube, which you don't have to worry about too much. And then you've got that pipe that I've just undone that comes down at the right angle, and that one goes to the top of it, but you've got to twist that one to pull it off, if I remember rightly. So that one is going to be fiddly. I'm going to leave that till last. So first thing I'm going to do is undo this one. That was actually very loose, so that one again might have been causing me some issues. I'm going to try and undo this one first. Can't even see it, I'm just doing it all by feel. I'm going to check, see if I've got another one of them, because I might have to break this one off as well and just replace it. I'm going to unbolt this to see if I can move it to twist the other pipe off the other side. So I'm going to see if I can get a better camera angle for you for that as well. But well, they are, what are they, T20s it looks like. Put the screwdriver in there. See if we're messing around too much. Now, the only thing that's left is this pipe up here, which you're supposed to twist to get off, but I've got a better idea because I'm replacing that pipe anyway. Let's see if I can twist it. Like, it's just so I know how I can get it back in, really, more than anything else. And the new one, well, I broke it instead. You can always cut that piece if you want to, that's brittle anyway. Bugger. But that does mean I can now I'm going to take this one off as well, just to give myself a bit more room. I genuinely didn't mean to break that pipe, but if I can get it out with a single casualty and no more, I'll be well happy. Give myself more room. You could leave all this in, but I was always taught work smarter, not harder. So for the sake of 4 bolts, including the power steering reservoir, I think I'd rather just make life easier for myself. Now this is the pipe I was trying to get to turn. It doesn't seem to want to. It was very brittle, this one. There we go. Right, just to make life easier for you, I just wanted to show you. This is the valve out. You're going to need to take that rubber piece off to put on the new one. But this is where that pipe I was struggling with goes on, and this one pushes on and it twists anti-clockwise to get it off, clockwise to get it on. So that's that one. This one is the pipe that goes up diagonally to the rocker cover, and this is the one that goes down. This is the drain pipe that goes down to the dipstick tube. So what we're going to do, and this is where the 2 bolts go. This is how it sits in the engine as you look at it. But this is a cheap aftermarket one, so I think this has failed. I've got another one, slightly less cheap aftermarket but very similar. Give that a go, see if hopefully that'll fix a lot of my running faults. I'm also going to reseal a lot of these bits and bobs as well, like I say, like the O-ring that was missing off of my dipstick tube, which is quite concerning. Yeah, what I had to do is push this pipe down underneath the manifold there to push it on, and then twist it and then feed it back up through past the injector bit, and I found you can do it then. I'm just going to double check and make sure that is on. this on. Crank up the aircon and blow out the cobwebs. See what this thing pulls like now. Well guys, I hope that's helped some of you out. I apologise if the camera angle is a bit rubbish. It's really hard to film where that CCV valve is. But yeah, let's hope that's helped some of you out. If it has, then hit a like and subscribe below just to let us know. And I'll catch you in the next video.